and I'll make this quick because I probably shouldn't have this thing running very long, but the 1950s were a great time for tweed amplifiers, Fender being the undisputed king of them. But Gibson kind of came out with their own line in the late 50s, like 59, 60, and 61. They had like this series of like the GA models, Gibson amplifier GA, the GA5, the GA8, the GA8T, the GA18, the GA18T. If it had a T designated on it, it was a I had a tremolo circuit on it. The GA40 is also a nice, I think it's got either like a 112 or 115 inch speaker in it. And it's a little bit larger. I think it was almost like a Bassman, but without the 4 speakers. I don't know. I'm not an expert on this at all. But this is a GA-20T, known as the Ranger. In all of my YouTube watching, where I'm trying to find, you know, pedals and all that kind of jazz, like, I stumbled on a player that I like playing one of these things and loved it. And the thing I loved about it is that for a tweed amp, I mean, tweed amps break up or get like really gnarly and gritty, distorted sounding, overdriven. It's a really nice kind of overdriven sound. These start to overdrive way sooner on the volume knob. Like, you don't have to turn them up as much as you would on a Fender. And so that was appealing to me because I like that kind of gnarly sound. I have a 1976 Fender Deluxe Reverb. If I want a clean sound, that thing's clean for days. So anyway, there was a shop in Harrisonville, Missouri that had this amp. Found it online. Chatted with the one of the salespeople there and purchased it. Got this thing boxed up and sent here. It arrived today. It was like 2 days. And so I've been fooling around with it, but it's going to need a nice going through and buttoning down. And so if Luke at Chesapeake Guitar and Amplifier is watching this, I'll probably be in touch soon. I still haven't really found an amp tech down here in North Carolina, but anyway, quickly want to show you guys a couple of sounds. You guys, as if like people are really watching this. It's more for me to go back a year from now in my Facebook memories and be like, oh yeah, remember when I got that amp? Anyway, there are 2 channels. Each channel has 2 inputs. The second input on each is, I believe, is the tremolo circuit, but 5 knobs. There's a volume knob for each channel and a single tone knob that works for both channels, and then the tremolo, there's a depth and a speed. But so, I mean, basically, if you take the tremolo circuit out of it, it's a volume knob and a tone knob, which is my ideal setup. I don't really care for EQs on amps, too many knobs. I can't figure it out. This thing cranked is just, you know, holy grail kind of sounds here, but it's going to get a little noisy when I turn it up because, like I said, it needs probably needs a filter and a cap job, or filter cap job. But also, when I'm done playing, I will not talk for a minute because it takes a second for my iPhone microphone to like reset after the amount of noise that it just kind of took in. So, but anyway, here's some sounds out of this thing. So I'm going to put this at about 9 out of 10, and then my volume and tone knob on my telly, it's a 97 American telly, are going to be wide open. It's kind of bright. I'm going to turn the tone now down just a little bit. 2, input 2. Fun sounds here. Like you can start, like when I turn the knobs a little bit, you start to hear the trim, at least in the static. But let's get some of that tremolo, because the tremolo on this amplifier is fantastic. Just again, it's gonna need some cleaning up. I'm gonna roll my tone knob back slightly here. One thing I have noticed too is that whenever I kick the trim off, like it still kind of decays a little bit. So that's something that's going to need to be addressed. Quick fun thing too. I'll cut this, and then I would have to cut this thing off because it's making some funny noises. But putting it in input 1, channel 1, and hearing like just the difference in the kind of bass sound, or the way the tone knob, it's a little bit bassier, it's a nicer bass response. Channel 1 is cool too. So one of the cool things about this amp is that the each channel, I should say each input if I'm not mistaken, has its own preamp tube, and they're all different. There's like a 12AX7, a 12AY7, and then for channel 2 input 1, it's a preamp tube that's just numbers. It's like a 5693. I don't know. I need to learn more about my tubes and stuff. But anyway, it is a really, really nice, crunchy, gritty sound. Whereas I think channel 1 input 1 is the 12AX7. So this is a much more standard kind of like tweedy, crunchy single channel, or not single channel, but like a just straight into the amp volume and tone kind of sound, and really, really digging it. So a little bit more thump in the bass there. I'm going to roll the tone knob up maybe a half or 1 notch. Oh, it says voicing, not tone, but anyway, same kind of deal. So. Very, very smitten. Some work yet to do, but yeah, new whip, man. It's gonna be nice. I'm eager to try it out with some of my P90 style guitars. Thicker or more output on the pickups. Interesting, or eager to get it cleaned up. This thing smells like it's been in a Starkville, Mississippi juke joint since 1961, so for all 50 years of its life. But somebody's been in it and done some work, because it's already got a 3-prong plug on it. But yeah, there's still some things that need to be done to kind of clean up some of this noise. But man, like, it's not too far away from being just a jewel of an amp. So anyway, just wanted to share my new whip with y'all. Hope that was as painless for you to sit through as it was fun for me to make. Bye.